It's the 202.
It's the 202. It's the 202.
It's the 202.
This is how we do when we party. It's the 202.
It's the 202.
Hello, everyone. Coming straight to you on the 202. Long before Empire and the Lion family, there was Sugarhill Records and a real-life first family of hip-hop, the Robinsons.
And some of the cast of Bravo's new reality series, including siblings of Sugarhill Records founder Silvia Robinson, are here with us today.
Plus, he's not only one of the kings of the seafood industry in the Washington metro area, but also provides dollars for budding scholars in the industry. It's all happening right here on the 202. So let's do it. And welcome to the 202. I'm Ferman Patterson, here with my very lovely co-host, Michel Wright.
Thank you, Ferman. And over there spinning the sounds on the turntables today is guest DJ, Swy Generous.
Way to go, Swy. All right, so he's a successful restaurateur. Think Tony and Joe's, Nick's Riverside Grill on the Georgetown front, and the latest Ivy City Smokehouse. He's also co-founder of ProFish, the premier seafood company in the Washington metropolitan area.
I love seafood. And if that's not enough, Greg Caston is the board chairman of Educated Eats, which provides scholarship money to area students interested in the culinary arts.
Thank you so much for joining us, Greg.
Well, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Good to see you,
You as
and
well.
to see so much smoked salmon.
We
in
brought
front
a
of
little smoked salmon, smoked trout, all sorts of fun stuff.
You
today,
really
yes.
are the king of seafood, huh?
ProFish has been in Washington, D.C. since 1988. Long time.
And so it provides seafood to all of the restaurants in the area?
Yeah, we actually go from Virginia Beach all the way to Hoboken,
Wow.
New Jersey. So we
Is
have
that
26 trucks on the road every day. And yeah, quite a few in D.C. We have quite a few of the top chefs. I don't like to mention one because then the other one gets a little mad, and there's some tension in there. But and then we have a lot of the casual eat people as well. I mean, there's all kinds of desire for seafood. It's really the best food that you can eat. And so ProFish has been located in Ivy City over in Northeast by the Hex Warehouse, which is a new project. And we have been in the smoking business for a little while, which is the application of smoke. You cook fish, cold smoke or hot smoke. You cook it at 70 degrees in airflow temperature, and you produce this, which is cold smoked salmon, which you traditionally find on many of your brunches and whatnot around town. And then, of course, in all your bagels, when you get bagel and lox. This is lox, or a form of this is lox. There's a bunch of traditions. And we have a variety of those products now and have launched the brand name Ivy City Smokehouse.
Ivy City,
nice.
you know that well.
Where it is, and
Yeah.
it's in a building across the street from ProFish. And you know, we've just gotten our product into Wegmans, and we're about to get into Super Value, which is 3,200 stores coast to coast, and we're just trying every day to put the best piece of fish in front of people we can.
This is amazing, and I'm a big seafood lover. What I'm curious about is when you smoke the fish, there are different flavors. Sometimes I see honey or mustard or whatever. Do you put the flavoring in with the coals, the wood, or?
So the question is the brine. So the process would be the fish actually sits in a brine, which is a recipe that has to have a certain amount of salt in it so that you get the bacteria out, so that it's safe to eat. So the water phase salt ratio on every batch of salmon we make, we record. So the FDA can say this is a safe product. And that's just part of, we're involved in a thing called GFSI, which is Global Food Safety Initiatives, which is a myriad of procedures that make sure you put out a very safe product. And and you see that we actually put their logo on our package. And in addition to that, so the brine is focused on that and the core flavor of the salt. The flavorings that you're talking about, the tequila, cilantro,
all those different,
lemon, vodka, that's actually a spread. So you'll smoke it, and the smoking process for cold smoke is about a 12-hour process from beginning to end. That last hour is when you will go in and sort of take a basting brush and go over the sides.
You're making me
Yummy,
hungry. Much too
yummy,
hungry.
yummy.
Well, we also want to get in, as we're talking about food, is the scholarship program.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I've been a member of a very excellent organization that truly looks out for a lot of the small business people in Washington, D.C., and that's the Restaurant Association of Metropolitan Washington. They're constantly involved in trying to do things, and about 10 years ago they formed a foundation called, well, it had some goofy name before that we changed about 6 or 7 years ago, to Educated Eats.
Yes.
And the mission of that foundation is to bring young people interested into the culinary industry the opportunity to get in there, especially those who don't necessarily have the means to go to a good culinary school or to further their education. And over the years, it has developed to a point where we've given out in excess of $150,000 in scholarships to students. We generally do it in $2,500 increments based on applications. Last year, I think there were 32 applicants, and we awarded 8 scholarships, and we had people from all over the city, a few outside the city as well.
What's the criteria for these students to get these
So
scholarships?
you have to have a certain grade point average, and you have to have good references from your teacher, and you have to be interested in culinary arts as your career. And we have an application process. If you go to www.educatedeats.org, you will see a little link, excuse me, to the web page where you can fill the application out online. And then I think it's April 25th is the last one that we'll take, and then we will review and reward.
Wow.
And we're interested not only in people who want to go to a traditional culinary school, but if there's a sous chef out there or a line cook or somebody that wants to better educate themselves in our culinary arts field, we want them to apply. So if you want to go to a butcher school, or if you want to go learn how to cut seafood and do it properly and take a course that might cost $300 or $400 and may very well be out of their means to better their value and to further their ability to generate on. Educated Eats wants to focus on that too.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
I
You're
love
doing
it.
a great job. We appreciate it. We appreciate your coming by.
My
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Thanks so much. Don't touch that seafood,
No,
though.
I'm
I
not
was going
gonna.
to say, vegetarians is something for us.
I want
There
to
you
share
go.
this one with you if you got a minute.
Michelle will take it. Coming up, when it comes to hip-hop empires, the one that preceded them all was Sugarhill Records.
Yes, some of the cast from the new reality show chronicling the lives of the real-life first family of hip-hop are here. And that's next on the 202.
It's the 202. It's the 202.
It's the 202. It's the 202.
It's the 202.
And welcome back to the 202. And that's our guest DJ, Swy Generous, jamming on the turntables. Love that name. There's no question that hip-hop began with the Sugarhill Gang's monster hit, Rapper's Delight, way back in 1979. And it helped turn the Sugarhill record label into an empire.
Yes, in the new Bravo reality series, the first family of hip-hop, current-day siblings of the record label's founder, Silvia Robinson, are all battling to see who will carry the label into the future. Take a look.
My grandmother and my grandfather started Sugarhill.
The first hip-hop record label ever.
We are the first family of hip-hop.
Your mother laid the foundation with making records.
Sugarhill Records broke open the rap industry. It opened it up to more than just like the urban communities.
Y'all are music.
Got Rapper's Delight,
Message,
Apache.
White Lines,
Love is Strange.
hit after hit after hit.
Without Sugarhill, there'd be no Def Jam, no Rockefeller, no Bad Boy, none of y'all. That's just facts.
Right now, Sugarhill is flatlined.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Welcome, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Samaya, Lady Luck, and Darnell.
Yes.
Who I actually watched your Sweet 16.
Did you? Did you like it?
That party, yes. It was dope. King Darnell.
Tigers and Rihanna.
Tigers, yes. And Rihanna, man.
Well, you know, you guys are the real-life empire. You know, I'm sure you've gotten those comparisons since the series started.
That's right.
Yeah.
But this is the real thing, though.
This is the real thing.
This is not the made-up version. This is real. You know, we put our lives out there, and you know, for people at home to see us, and you know, they make their own opinions of how they feel about us, and sometimes they don't even think me and her, you know, or be around each other. They're like, you're talking about, like, somebody wrote me on Twitter today and was like, yo, you and Luck talk? I said, yo, that's my cousin. Like, we go through things. We go through things. You know, we family, but we figure it out.
Well, growing up, you know, being around Silvia Robinson, you know, and hearing that, did you realize what was really going on, who you were?
That was my grandmother. She used to chase us around the house and cook for us every day. Like, that was my grandmother. I got to see a taste of it when people would come to the house. Yeah. You got people like Ronald Isley. She was friends with Michael Jackson. Like, you know, Michael, you know, and these people come and you're like, damn, mommy. You know? But then, you know, as life goes on, you know, people start saying things and you realize, damn, mommy was really an icon, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, reading more about her, she not only sang well, she played instruments well, she produced well, she was in the studio showing others how to do it, that she was all around great talent.
Right. She's a visionary, you know, which was incredible about her. She wrote with Tina Turner, which I learned later on, you know, her and Ike, and they wrote plenty of songs on Motown, and to know that she did different things, like they bought Chess Records, which was the first, I guess they would call it colored label, you know, with Etta James and Chuck Berry. Like, I didn't know about that, you know, and just the different things that she did outside of what we all know as, you know, Sugarhill, which is iconic in its own. So just for her to just be the first one out the box to do a lot of things that she does, like, you know, shout out to Rihanna and shout out to Janet Jackson, but Aunt Sylvia was like the first one panting on records, you know what I mean? She was the one, the first one catcalling, you know, with Pillow Talk. So it's like,
Pillow Talk.
So she's,
Oh, my parents, oh my goodness. Wow. That was risque back in the day.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Such a sensual voice.
Did Bravo come to you guys, or you guys went to Bravo for this series?
Well, this was something that me and my uncle were working on for quite some time. You know, we just seen a lot of things happening around us, and I just felt like, you know, the older generation, it set with those guys, our guys, they stuck with it. So I just, you know, me being young and having a lot of energy, I like to bring that to them. Like, yo, daddy, yo, Joey, this is what I could do for y'all. Like, listen, I could get us in pocket here, I could do this. And they was all like, nah, we're not doing that. No TV stuff.
He kept his relationship with the producers of Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, we should do something on My Family. I mean, it's different, you know. It's not anything like theirs out there.
Out, and Empire really, like, I started seeing.
It really made the wheels turn.
It was too similar. I said, hold on.
So we need to tell our story is what his mind was saying.
Wow, I love it. What about the pressures? You know, you guys have such big things to live up to. Do you feel that? Well, you both make dope music. I've heard clips, you know, and I watched the show. But do you still feel like a pressure, like, wow, everybody I know knows every word to Rapper's Delight, though? You know, what am I gonna do?
I mean, it's. You want to take it?
I don't feel no pressure. I just do what I like to do, you know, and that's how I live my every day. Just doing what I love to do.
Just to reiterate what he's saying, it's like, I don't feel any pressure. It's just like, when you make the music, make what feels good to you, because there was no pressure when those guys went in the studio. You know, just to know that we have that big backdrop and that big legacy there, to me, it makes things, you know, a little easier, you know, but it's like, not to the people, but just to show that they made great music, we can too. You know what I mean?
What kind of response are you getting from the other record labels now that you guys are on air and talking about bringing this this record label to the next level?
Nothing bad.
Nobody's saying
nothing negative. Everyone's very supportive.
That's right.
We meet people all the time from different walks of life, like to A-list actors, to record labels that are like, oh, I watch your show, we love it, it's so real. I think that that's the wonderful quality that this show has, is that it transcends to so many different, from, like I said, from the A-list actor to the record labels to artists, to Latin artists, like, or to, you know, Jamaican artists. So it's
we have
awesome.
everything. Like, we have a record label together. He has his company. He has artists. You know, my cousin Rondo on the show. He has the reggae artists. So it's like we're all with the Sugarhill legacy, and it helps us out a lot. But we all have our own ventures as well. So you guys got to tune in because it gets crazy.
I gotta see how it plays out.
Keep that asthma under control, Donnell. Keep that asthma under control.
Diabetes, baby.
We've got lots more to talk about, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, more with the cast of the first family of hip hop.
So stay right where you are. The 202 will be back after this.
It's the 202. It's the 202.
It's the 202. It's the 202.
It's the 202.
Welcome back to the 202. We're talking with some of the cast members from Bravo's new reality series, The First Family of Hip Hop.
The show chronicles the lives of the current generation running the Sugarhill Records empire and their struggles to carry on the label.
Yes.
And just so we know, this is a reality show, but it's also being called a sort of docu-drama.
Docu-series.
Ah, all right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, there's drama there.
Always got to have the drama.
Every family does.
Yeah.
But it's a docu-series, yes.
Yeah.
And the reason why I like to call it a docu, well, not I like to, it's a docu-series, but the reason why I always tell people that, you know, is because reality it's like tainted. There's like this new thing to reality television. You know, it's like they give you these situations and they throw you in there and go ahead, deal with it. Let's see it. Yeah. Let's see the reality.
But we had our own situations that we threw ourselves in, and the camera was just there to catch it.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Wow.
It's all real. Like, everything that you see happened. Like, you know, like, some of us didn't speak to each other for months. Some of us are still fixing our relationship. So, I mean, because it really happened, and, like, you know, the producers, they just came at a really great time. It was just like, you know what I mean? Because if they came earlier, if they came later, they might not have caught it. So they came at a great time.
Definitely.
So how long did it take you guys? Well, Darnell had done a bit of TV before, but before you forgot the cameras were there, because again, some of those moments I see, I'm like, whoa! I know when the camera stopped. You know,
it was like she helped me out a lot. She's an icon in this TV thing. But you know what it was for me? Like the first time, I remember I was on camera, but then I was on camera with his sister Leah, and she started crying. I forgot about the cameras, and I'm like, what's going on with my bear? And you know, and for a minute there, I was ready to say, cut, like, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I mean? But it was like, all right, well, you know, this is what's happening in front of the camera, then, you know, let's do this. And then, you know, when him and I got into it, you know, it started smelling like wine. You know, that basketball game really happened. You know what I'm saying? And I probably did. I don't know what that thing smelled like I had that day. You know what I mean? We just had, I don't know what that was. We just had a great time. Yeah, we just had, it was a great time. And then, like, another thing that's special about the show is we really just connected as a couple. Like, we've been friends for 7-8 years, and you know, like, we had just got together, so the show documents the beginning of our relationship, you know, on this level.
Yeah, not the beginning of our friendship, but the beginning of our
relationship.
We crossed that line.
We had just made it official before the cameras came along, so when they came along, it was like, wait, Samaya Reese, could you come with us? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was like, what do you think, babe? But I support her, and I support what they do, and they're all so talented. You know, Darnell has music out right now, his single.
That's right. Not So Low Key's out. NASA's out.
She just dropped her album.
On our joint record label.
Joint record label. Yes. So we're creating our own record label amongst what's going on called La Rosa Entertainment. We are also a full production house, so we do also television and scripted film. So that's kind of where we want to go. And we all have different aspirations with our music. I as well am an artist, but I do a different genre of them. Like, I'm a rap urbano, urban rap, but in Spanish.
Translated rap and urban.
En español. So, you know, I do the merengue with the rap, but in español. Yeah. So, you know, that's kind of my thing, the Pitbull, Daddy Yankee genre. That's what I do. And so we have different ventures that we're doing, but the overall thing that I really want people to get from this show is that we all have family issues.
Yeah.
You know? And everyone. And there's a lot of great talent. There's a lot of course, you know, the family drama, but at the end of the day, everybody is, you know, that there's love there. There is love there, even though it might not seem like it sometimes, but there is a group of talented young generation here. Sugarhill is known for their generation. Now you have this generation. And so I think that people should give them a shot, because no one on television is doing what we're doing on this show.
Right. I think we can't help it. You guys are taking care of your business.
Yes.
It is very clear.
Yes.
Very clear.
A lot of young people don't do that.
We're all learning as we go along, too, which is very important, because I've learned a lot of things as I went along on this show, because I came on as like a songwriter, producer. This was my first time venturing into this, and there was a lot of things that I had to learn about the music industry and, well, that aspect of it, because I've always been a rapper, you know what I mean? And I had everybody else handling all of my stuff. So to be where I am now on a different side or a different angle of it, it was very educational. So like a lot of you rappers at home, or a lot of you musicians at home, you should tune in, because you'll learn a lot about publishing and split sheets and, you know, just having your business
be self-sustained always.
Fantastic.
It was very informative. I learn things sometimes, like just seeing like other conversations, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
It's important to take care of yourself, you know.
Well, tell me this. With reality shows, and I don't know how much you can talk about, but how much do you have control over what ends up on television? I know they're shooting.
Nothing.
You know, you don't really
so you should keep it real all the time. So no one can accuse you of like, why'd you say that?
Yeah.
I said it in your face.
Everything happened. You might not be able to see, like, it might happen in that 30 seconds. It might have took 3 hours for that to happen, but that did happen. You know what I mean? And
how often are they shooting, taping you guys? What's an average day like?
Well, we just wrapped. So we're officially wrapped, but we have been taping as the show is airing. So that causes a whole different bunch of tension. You said that?
You know, me and my cousin Rondo, we got into an argument. He was like, Chanel, this was 6 months ago. I said, but I didn't know your part 6 months ago. Shout out to Rondo, you know what I mean? So we're all, it's my first rodeo. Like him, her, Asini, you know, they all been on television before in this aspect. Me, I was the rapper, you know what I mean? So just having the cameras
to kind of guide her a little bit, like, but at the end of the day, like I tell all of them, as long as you're real and you own everything you say, there's no one can edit you anyway.
Wow.
This is who you are. Live your truth.
Well, we love it, and now we have a vested interest. I mean,
who doesn't love a good little reality
drama?
drama?
I'm screaming at Darnell. I'm like, what are you doing in that bar drinking?
I was watching it too, like, what are you doing in there, Darnell?
A hookah king.
You got our hearts, but I think you knew that.
So because I have diabetes, I can't smoke hookah?
I never heard that.
Diabetes.
Heard that before.
I was like, how did they go
I don't know, Ferman. You have to talk to him a little bit later.
We will. You guys have to come back.
Okay.
It was a pleasure talking with you. We're learning a lot.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
All right. Well, what a great show today. Thanks to our guest, Greg Caston, the cast from the First Family Hip Hop, and of course, my co-host, Michel Wright.
Yes, had a great time. And of course, thanks to Britt Waters from The Sound and our guest DJ, Swad, Generous. Ferman and I will see you again next time on the 202.
Home of that good live music. Live on set, live audience approves it. The best hosts, it don't get no tighter. Ferman and Michelle can't get no brighter. Taxation, no representation. But the 202 repping for the capital nation. So from 703 to the 301. Yeah, we all come to have some fun. It's the 202.
It's the 202. This the 202.
It's the 202.
This is how we do when we party in the 202.
It's the 202.
This the 202. This the 202.
It's the 202.
This the 202. This the 202.
It's the 202.
This is how we do when we party in the 202.
It's the 202. It's the 202.